everybody out there, this is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another Madden 24 Ultimate Team video. In today's video, we're going to be going over the best players to use your Ring of Honor token on, the best abilities, the best X Factors. We got it all covered in this video. A lot to go over, so let's go ahead and jump right on into it. So right now, at this moment, Friday afternoon, there is only one Ring of Honor token that you can earn, and it's going to be found in the solo challenges for this program. Now, it's really easy to get. There's a lot of solos to play, but they go by pretty quickly here. You need all 100 milestone stars. It probably takes a half hour to 40 minutes at the very most, and if you look through the rewards here, you get a 91 plus BND player, you get Field Pass XP. I've already maxed out this Field Pass, so it's really easy to get all of the rewards from this program. You're going to get 2 of the 3 John Madden upgrade tokens. I know some of you haven't received your John Madden welcome pack. Hopefully they get that fixed very soon for you, but 2 of the 3 tokens that you're going to need to upgrade that Madden to a 97 overall for free will be found in the solos. And at the very end, 100 stars, you're going to get that Ring of Honor champion upgrade token. So this token does a lot of different things. It's going to give you access to special X Factors, an extra discounted ability bucket, boosts on additional players that were teammates of the 99 overall Ring of Honor player that you have in your lineup, and a couple other things. But the problem right now is that there's only this one singular token that you can earn. Now, I would not be surprised if later this afternoon or Saturday or even Monday, we get some type of pack offer that includes one of these tokens. It feels very similar to the Super Bowl promo with the lighted up tokens. If you remember back then, I'm pretty sure it was $50 bundles that they put out. Of course, those bundles came with other packs and cards, but the main reason people were buying them is to get more upgrade tokens. And being that there's 8 different players or 7 different players that could use a token, and you only get one of them, well, it's a hard decision on what player to use them on, and people are definitely going to be thirsty for another 1 or 2 if they can get them. So not only am I going to cover the best player to use your token on, but I do just want to go over the best players from this promo, and I'm going to start with the 2 LTDs because these cards also can use the token, but they're not going to impact any of the teammates if you have them in your lineup as well, because they don't have teammates. They're just singular cards that are LTDs and packs. I'm going to start with Tony Gonzalez. To me, this card would certainly not be worth the token, and to be honest, I don't really think it's worth using either. Now, if you need any of these cards I'm mentioning today for team chemistries, you can ignore me saying don't get this card, because obviously you're going to need them for a theme team. But overall, for 700k, I just don't think this card is worth it. You can go with LTD Luke Musgrave, who's only about 400k. That's a 50,000 coin rental. He gives you 98 stock speed, and he's 6'6". Now, he doesn't get the greatest abilities, but to me, and again, this is how my offense runs, so maybe you guys are going to disagree here, I don't feel like you really need abilities on a tight end this year to make them that much better. Tony DG does come baked in with red zone threat for 0 AP, which is good, but that Luke Musgrave card gets matchup nightmare for 0 AP, which I think is a better ability. Red zone threat's good, but a little bit limited because it only works in the red zone, obviously. So if you were to use your token on the Tony G, here are all of the discounted ability buckets and abilities that he gets. And again, to me, none of these really seem like it's worth it. Most people are out there running a Hot Route Master quarterback or Master Technician at this point, so Backyard TE is not going to do much. Jukebox for 0, I mean, it could be cool, but I really don't think it's worth it. Tank, Leapfrog, Secure Protector, Third Down Threat. The token isn't giving you any type of game-breaking ability in that last bucket. And as far as his X Factors go, Gronk from the Real Deals promo gets double me as well without needing any type of token. I lied. You do need a token, but it's much, much easier to obtain because you can go against the computer in solo battles and get those ones easier. And there's multiples of those where you're limited to just the one for Ring of Honor. And, you know, like I said, Route Tech, Momentum Shift, none of these feel like they're worth it to me. I could make a case for Momentum Shift because it's going to knock out the X Factors for your opponents, but is it all really worth it? I just don't think so on Tony G. So I wouldn't go after this card. I'd use either Gronk or Luke Musgrave instead, which both cards are really, really less costly. And I definitely don't think the token is worth it. Lawrence Taylor is another one, right? So you take a look at his price. He's right around 1 million coins, give or take, and really good attributes. 95 speed outside linebacker, 99 block shed, 98 power move, 96 finesse move. The token is going to give him some good stuff here. So he gets edge threat baked in for 0 AP. That's really good. Blitz as one of the X Factors. Didn't really have much luck with that one when it came down to using it on, I think it was Chase Young from the Super Bowl promo. I like dual threat a lot, but you really shouldn't have Lawrence Taylor out in pass coverage, so that's not going to be helpful. He also gets momentum shift, but I'm just not a big fan of using this ability or this X Factor right now. And Colossus is probably one of the better options out there, but I just believe that Unstoppable Force is better, at least for me. It's played better than Colossus did. And for the price of this card, if you're looking for a pass rusher that gets Colossus, or in my opinion, you should go with Unstoppable Force over that, well, you just have better options that, again, are not going to require that token. Now, LT also gets a bunch of discounted abilities, and the last bucket gives you a handful of good things. Double or Nothing is really good for 1 AP. Lurk Artist is good for surprising your opponent, catching them off guard. Defensive Rally for 0 isn't a terrible option. Same thing with Secure Tackler. But to me, for the price of this card and the fact that he's not as good without the token, I would just go out and buy Aaron Donald. The Tribute card is right around the same price point. He's going to get Unstoppable Force for 0 AP, and you don't need any type of token for that to activate. He also gets Relentless for 0 AP, Double or Nothing for 1 AP. He just gets a bunch of really good abilities, and again, they're right around the same price point. So for LT, this is a no-go. I would just go with Aaron Donald, and if you can't afford either of those cards, because they're a million coins, you can always take a look at Real Deal's Roman Reigns, even the AKA Reggie White, which is a super old card. These are cards that get Unstoppable Force that are much better, or are going to be much cheaper, and will still give you some really good production. Brian Arakpo from the Combine promo, there's a lot of them out there, so I just don't think this LT is going to be worth the coins. Same thing is going to go for JJ Watt. So he's about 700k, which is kind of the average for all of these non-LTD 99 overall Ring of Honor cards. Good attributes, 95 speed, 99 block shed, 99 power move, 95 finesse, but it's all about the abilities and the X factors. If you do use the token on this JJ Watt card, he gets Colossus as well, but the same thing I just explained with Lawrence Taylor. I just personally believe that Unstoppable Force is going to be better. The token is also going to give you access to these buckets. Double or Nothing, really good for 1. Lurk Artist for 0, really good. This is literally LT all over again. Secure Tackler for 0, but one more time, I would just go out and spend the coin on Tribute Aaron Donald or Real Deal's Roman Reigns, and you're not going to need to use the one token that you have, being that we're so limited. You're going to save yourself some coin if you go with the Roman Reigns card. Of course, if you go with Aaron Donald, you're spending a little bit more, but I just don't think this one is worth it. And another good feature about using the tokens, it wouldn't work for the LTDs, but this card and the next 4 cards we're going to talk about, you get extra boost. So when JJ Watt is out there, it's going to boost DJ Reader, Andre Johnson, just to name a few. I don't really like those cards. Aren't game breaking either or must-haves. So if you need these for theme teams, go for it. But overall, just generally speaking, I don't think the token nor the without a token is worth the cost right now on JJ Watt. There's better options out there. Devin Hester is another one that I just don't think is going to be worth the token or the coin, because you can go out there and get Randy Moss for cheaper, and guess what? He's 6'4" and has stock 99 speed. The calling card, the main thing that Hester is known for is his speed, but he's 5'11", and there's a bunch of 98 and 99 speed wide receivers out there. They're going to be much taller. Now, he does give you Return Man and Energizer, both for 0 AP, really good abilities, all things considered, but not when it comes down to a 700k card. If you use your token on him, Rack 'em Up is really good, Evasive is going to be really good, Yak 'em Up is going to be really good, but the token is just going to be better off spent elsewhere. These are X factors that you can get on AKA cards that are just not going to be as impactful if you use it on this Devin Hester, unfortunately. And with his discounted abilities, he's not getting any type of evasive or jukebox or spin cycle for 0 AP. And I talked about Randy Moss a moment ago. Randy Moss not only is taller and has the same speed and is less expensive, but he also gets jukebox. So after that catch, you're running RPOs, you're giving him end arounds, just really quick throws, anything where there's open field, that jukebox for 0 AP is going to make a huge difference. And if you take a look at Hester, even the non-token needing discounted abilities are just not there for me on this card. We've spent this entire video crapping on all of these cards. You're probably thinking, Pop, when are you going to say something good? Well, the next 3 are the best 3, and we'll start with Troy Polamalu. Now, with this card, if you want to use your token, I'm not mad at you for doing so, but I don't think it's 100% required. Now, if you do, I mean, look at his attributes. The only downside to Troy P is that he's 5'10", but he gets so many good knockout abilities that I don't think the height is going to come into as much of an, it's not going to be as impactful in a negative way as you might think it will, because knockouts are so overpowered. He's got 99 hit power, 99 zone, 97 man, 99 speed. There's so many good 99 attributes here. He comes baked in with Pick Artist, so we're talking about should you use a token on him or not. You certainly can, because he does get a good X Factor. Universal coverage is really good. 9 plays into the game because it's a combine X Factor. This one will turn on and stay on for the remainder of the game, and this is going to give you knockouts in man coverage or zone coverage. So you combine that with the fact that he has Pick Artist, that's going to help you with the interceptions, and you're going to get that one for 0 AP. And then look at the other ability options you have. You got Deep Zone KO for 1 AP. If we work backwards here, you can then get Mid Zone KO for 0, and if you want, you got Flat Zone for 0 as well. So we're talking Deep Zone, Mid Zone, Flat Zone, plus Pick Artist, plus universal coverage in the X Factor, and I believe it's only costing you a total of 2 AP if you use the X Factor. Now, if you don't want to use the token, that means you're not going to use the X Factor, and again, that's okay, because now you can get Pick Artist for 0. You're only going to get access to these two buckets, but you can still get Deep Zone for 1, and your choice of either Mid Zone or Flat Zone. So like a Mid Zone KO, a Deep Zone KO, and Pick Artist with no X Factor and not needing the token and only spending 1 AP. If you run a zone scheme, this is a great strong safety for you. I'm personally going to stick with Kyle Hamilton, who gets 2 good 0 AP abilities, but overall, this is a really good card with the token or without the token. For me, I think the toughest decision comes down to who do I use my token on between Michael Vick and Eric Dickerson, and I've tried it on both, and I have both cards, and both cards are really, really good. The reason I'm going to prefer Vick over Dickerson is because we have Combine halfback Bo Jackson, who is much cheaper. Last I looked, he was in the lower 100K range. This Eric Dickerson card with the X Factor and the token is going to be really, really good. But is he going to be that much better than a card that's under 200,000 coins? I don't think so. If you have a plethora of coins, if you got millions upon millions, go ahead and get Dickerson with or without the token. He's going to be solid, but I do think if you want to save that token for Vick, that's going to be the route to go, and you can either use Eric Dickerson without a token, and he's pretty solid. He played well for me without it, or you can go the other route and use that Combine Bo Jackson. And again, the reason I say that is because if you take a look at the Dickerson card and you use that token on him, he gives you a couple different options. I would advise against Freight Train. This one's going to start on for 10 plays, but then it goes away, and it comes back, I think, after 5 plays or after you get 2 10+ yard rushes. But the point here is that there's just a little bit too much that you have to do to get this one to activate versus Angry Runs 9 plays into the game, because it's that Combine Angry Runs X Factor, just like the Combine running back Bo Jackson. 9 plays into the game, this one turns on and stays on for the remainder of the game. It's not going to be knocked out, so I personally would prefer Angry Runs over Freight Train. If Freight Train's working for you, go for it, but if you're going to use the token, this is the X Factor that I would go with. And as far as the abilities go, Human Joystick baked in for 0 AP, really good and underrated, I think, on this card. And in that last bucket, I don't really like much here. This is another reason why I would go against using the token on him. I mean, you can use Tanker Bruiser. I just haven't had a ton of success with that. Energizer, you're already going to get for 0 without the token. Same thing for Jukebox. I wouldn't really use Red Zone Threat or the Backyard Halfback. Of course, if you're not using a Hot Route Master Quarterback, maybe this one comes into play for you. But without the token, you can go with the combination of Jukebox here for 0 and Energizer here for 0 and Human Joystick baked in. I think this card is perfectly fine without the token, and it's better off going to be used on Michael Vick if you're okay with a left-handed quarterback and looking to use a new QB. I just want to stress it's not a bad idea to use the token and to go with Angry Runs on this card. I did so, and he played pretty well for me, but I didn't notice a huge difference between what I could do with Bo Jackson, with Angry Runs lit up, not requiring a token, and this Eric Dickerson, and that gets us to Michael Vick. So if you can get past the, the fear of using a left-handed quarterback, this is a really, really good card, and it's very flexible whether you're going to use the token or not. Number one, he has that traditional 4 release, so he doesn't necessarily need Gunslinger. I've used it with it, and without it, I kind of like it with Gunslinger, but again, it's not necessary. Obviously, the attributes are really, really good here. 99 speed, 99 throw power, all of the accuracies are 94 and up. Same with throw on the run, throw under pressure, really good there. I think he also has a pretty good set of teammates with Brian Finnernan out there and Roddy White. You got two basically 99 overall wide receivers that he's going to boost. Just going back, Hester doesn't have good teammates either. I kind of forgot to mention that. Eric Dickerson gets a good left and right tackle, but they both don't get good discounts on secure protector like some of the other offensive linemen do. So I think Michael Vick is the best use for the token because of the teammates as well. And two wide receivers that he's going to be throwing the ball to are going to be really, really good. You got a 6'5" guy and a 6'2" guy, and on a Falcons team, you're probably going to have them to 99 speed. So this card with the token, you're definitely going to want to go with Truz. I will warn you that I got hit sticked with Truz on, and I don't know if my opponent had Avalanche. I think he maybe did, but I did cough up the ball and fumble, which is a little disheartening because it was a late game situation, and every time I've used Truz X Factor on the quarterback Bo Jackson, he's never fumbled, so that was kind of annoying. And make sure you're paying attention to the Truz that you're using, and hopefully that wasn't the mistake that I made here, but the Truz X Factor for NFL Combine is the one to go, because again, 9 plays into the game, that's going to turn on and stay on for the remainder of the game, whereas the Ring of Honor Truz has that option. I shouldn't even call it an option, but it can be knocked out or get turned off. So go with the Combine one. But, you know, a 99 speed running back who has baked in evasive for 0 AP and the Truz X Factor, he's going to be the ultimate dual threat. When you run with him in most situations, again, I don't know if my situation was very unique, but he shouldn't fumble. You should be able to make people miss a lot with evasive, and of course the 99 speed, you're going to be able to run by people. And, you know, there's so many routes that you can go with the abilities with the token, because he just has access to so much. So personally, what I went with was Gunslinger for 0. In this bucket, I went with Pass Lead Elite for 2 AP. Let me rewind that because that's incorrect. So from the third to last bucket, I went with Gunslinger for 0. In the second to last bucket, I went with Pass Lead Elite for 2. And in the last bucket, which requires the token, I went Master Tactician. So Master Tactician is basically Conductor, Hot Route Master, and a form of Playmaker all in one ability for 1 AP. So you get that, and then Pass Lead Elite is a better version of Set Feet Lead. Your feet don't have to be set, whereas in Set Feet Lead they do, hence the name there. That's 2 AP, and then of course Gunslinger, as I mentioned earlier, is not 100% necessary, but because I had it in this bucket and it's 0 AP, I went with it. You can spend the 1 AP on Fearless if you want. You can spend the 1 AP on Gift Wrapped if you want as well. This card creates a lot of open spaces for ability points on your offense because of all of the things that you can do with it. And if you're not going to use your token, another route that you can go, you're still going to get the evasive, is that you can go with Master Tactician for 1 AP and then Set Feet Lead for 1 AP for only a total of 2. That's really good. Like I said, he doesn't need Gunslinger, and if you still want to use Gunslinger, you can. You're just going to have to pay the 2 AP for it, but you got Master Tactician, Set Feet Lead, and Gunslinger for 4 AP. That's still really good compared to some of the other quarterbacks out there. So this is another one between him and Eric Dickerson where you could get by just fine without the token, but I think he is the best use for the token if you're going to be using this card. So that's it. I know that was a lot of information. If you haven't figured it out by now, top 3 Ring of Honor cards, in my opinion, are going to be Troy P, Michael Vick, and Eric Dickerson. You can use the token on any of those 3 players above everybody else out there, and I do think if you're going to be using Vick, he is the best card to use that token on. If you're not going to be using Vick, then it's up to you on Troy P or Eric Dickerson. If you run the ball a ton, go with Eric Dickerson. If you play a lot of zone and you want a lot of knockouts, Troy P is the move. Thank you guys for tuning in to another video. My name is Popular Stranger, and I'm out. Peace.